Imagine living a life where no challenge, criticism, or chaos can shake your peace of mind. What if you could face every storm with unshakable calmness and inner strength? In this video, we uncover 10 powerful Buddhist teachings that can transform your mindset, helping you navigate life with clarity and resilience. These aren't just ancient philosophies, they are practical tools you can start using today to find balance, purpose, and serenity in a fast-paced world. By the end of this journey, you'll not only gain insight into these transformative principles, but also discover fascinating ideas and practical stories that might resonate deeply or spark moments of realization. Stay with us until the end. There's so much wisdom and inspiration waiting for you. Get ready to uncover new perspectives, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mirror Stillness for more thought-provoking and enriching content. 1. Begin with purpose. Cultivating clarity in daily life. Starting your day with a clear sense of purpose is transformative. Just as a ship needs a reliable map to navigate turbulent waters, a defined purpose provides direction and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Without it, we risk being swept away by distractions or overwhelmed by obstacles. Establishing your purpose each day fosters intentionality, helping you stay focused on what truly matters. The power of purpose. Stories of transformation. Jane's journey to balance. Jane, a marketing professional, often felt adrift in the fast-paced corporate world. Deadlines loomed, meetings piled up, and she struggled to keep her priorities straight. One day, after attending a mindfulness workshop, Jane decided to implement a simple daily habit: morning journaling. Each morning, she would spend 5 minutes writing about her goals and values. Over time, this practice helped her reconnect with what mattered most. When faced with a high-pressure project and office politics, Jane remained composed, knowing her larger purpose transcended immediate challenges. David's marathon motivation. David, a father of 2 and an aspiring marathon runner, found it hard to balance family responsibilities with training. Feeling guilty about dedicating time to his passion, he questioned his commitment. One evening, he reflected on why running was important to him. It wasn't just about crossing a finish line. It was a symbol of perseverance for his kids. The next morning, David wrote down, "Running inspires my children to pursue their dreams." This clear purpose reinvigorated him, helping him train consistently and proudly complete his marathon with his family cheering him on. Aligning purpose with daily actions. A strong sense of purpose is only meaningful when it aligns with our actions. This alignment transforms abstract goals into tangible achievements, creating harmony between what we aspire to do and what we actually do. Sophia's career shift. Sophia worked in a high-paying job but felt unfulfilled. Her passion for sustainable living clashed with the practices of her company. She often felt stuck, torn between financial stability and her ethical beliefs. One weekend, she attended a retreat focused on living authentically. Guided by the principle of aligning purpose with action, Sophia realized her true calling was to educate others about sustainable practices. Over the next year, she made gradual changes, transitioning to a career in environmental education. Today, she leads workshops on sustainability, living a life that reflects her values, practical strategies to define and reinforce purpose. Morning visualization. Spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing your goals. Imagine yourself achieving them and reflect on how they align with your values. This primes your mind for purposeful action throughout the day. Write a purpose statement. Craft a short statement summarizing your overarching purpose. For instance, I strive to inspire kindness and resilience in others. Keep it visible on your desk or phone as a daily reminder. Periodic reflection. At the end of each week, assess how well your actions aligned with your purpose. Identify areas of improvement and celebrate small victories. Set thematic intentions. Assign a theme to your day or week. For example, this week is about patience, or today, I will focus on creativity. Themes guide your mindset and help narrow your focus, building resilience through purpose. When life throws unexpected challenges, a clear purpose serves as a compass, reminding us why we endure and persevere. Emily's medical recovery. Emily, a dancer, faced a devastating injury that threatened her career. During rehabilitation, she felt lost, unsure of her identity without dance. Her therapist suggested reconnecting with her deeper purpose, why she started dancing in the first place. Emily realized her passion for movement was rooted in storytelling and connecting with audiences. With this clarity, she began exploring choreography and teaching, finding new ways to fulfill her purpose while recovering. Emily's journey exemplifies how purpose can evolve while remaining a guiding force. By starting each day with clarity, you cultivate a mindset that transcends distractions and challenges. Whether through journaling, reflection, or aligning actions with values, nurturing your purpose transforms how you engage with the world. Like Jane, David, Sophia, and Emily, we all have the capacity to define our purpose and let it guide us toward resilience and fulfillment. 2. Becoming untouchable, mastering emotional resilience. Buddhism emphasizes that suffering is not inherently tied to the events we experience, but stems from our reactions to them. This profound teaching reveals that we hold the power to protect our inner peace, no matter the circumstances. By learning to let go of emotional triggers and cultivating mindful responses, we can become untouchable, resilient in the face of life's challenges. The essence of emotional control. Our emotions are like ripples on the surface of water. They respond to external disturbances, but can settle when left undisturbed. Becoming untouchable means recognizing these ripples for what they are, temporary disturbances, and refusing to let them dictate our peace. Mark's classroom transformation. Mark, a high school teacher, faced daily challenges in managing unruly students. Early in his career, he often reacted with frustration, which only escalated conflicts. Determined to change, Mark began practicing mindfulness, focusing on pausing before responding. When a student tested his patience, Mark would take a deep breath, assess the situation, and choose a calm response. Over time, his steady demeanor not only diffused tensions, but also earned him respect. His classroom became a space of mutual understanding and cooperation. Cultivating mindful responses. The pause that saves peace. One of the simplest yet most powerful tools in managing emotional triggers is the pause. When confronted with negativity or provocation, taking a moment to breathe can prevent impulsive reactions. Emma's family gatherings. Emma dreaded family reunions because of her critical aunt who often commented on her life choices. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, Emma decided to pause and breathe whenever her aunt spoke. By doing so, she realized her aunt's remarks were rooted in her own insecurities. Emma's calm responses diffused tensions, and she felt less affected by the criticism over time. Practical tip: when emotions flare, take 3 deep breaths and silently ask yourself, does this deserve my peace? This brief pause shifts focus from reaction to reflection, the art of letting go. Holding on to negative emotions is like clutching a hot coal. It hurts the one holding it more than anyone else. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring problems, but addressing them without sacrificing inner peace. David's workplace struggles. David, an IT professional, was constantly undermined by a competitive coworker. Initially, he harbored resentment, which affected his productivity and mood. Inspired by Buddhist teachings, David practiced letting go by focusing on what he could control, his own work ethic and attitude. By releasing the emotional weight of the rivalry, David not only regained his peace, but also outperformed his coworker, earning recognition for his professionalism. Practical tip: visualize emotional triggers as leaves floating down a river. Watch them drift away without clinging to them, building emotional immunity. Becoming untouchable involves strengthening emotional immunity. Like physical health, emotional resilience requires consistent practice and effort. Sophia's parenting journey. Sophia, a single mother, often felt overwhelmed by her teenager's rebellious phase. Each argument drained her energy and left her questioning her parenting skills. After attending a mindfulness workshop, Sophia adopted a new approach. She focused on staying calm and listening without immediate judgment. When her son lashed out, she paused, responded calmly, and maintained her composure. This shift reduced conflicts and strengthened their bond. Practical tip: practice daily affirmations to reinforce your emotional resilience. Repeat phrases like, "I am in control of my emotions," or "My peace is my power," turning negativity into growth opportunities. Every challenging situation carries the potential for personal growth. Viewing difficulties as lessons can transform how we respond to them. Liam's team leadership. Liam, a project manager, struggled with a difficult team member who often criticized his decisions in meetings. Instead of seeing the criticism as a personal attack, Liam reframed it as an opportunity to practice patience and improve his communication skills. By engaging the team member in constructive dialogue, he turned a challenging relationship into a productive collaboration. Practical tip. After facing a challenging situation, journal about what you learned from it. Reflect on how it helped you grow emotionally. Practical techniques to cultivate untouchability. Mindfulness meditation. Spend 10 minutes daily focusing on your breath and observing your thoughts without judgment. This practice enhances your ability to pause and respond calmly. Empathy practice. When someone acts negatively, try to understand their perspective. Remind yourself that their actions may stem from personal struggles, not your worth. Reframing triggers. Instead of viewing provocations as attacks, see them as opportunities to practice resilience. For instance, a rude comment can be an exercise in maintaining your peace. The power of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means recognizing that your inner peace is independent of external circumstances. By detaching from the need to control others or outcomes, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Emily's recovery from a breakup. After a painful breakup, Emily struggled with feelings of rejection and anger. She realized that clinging to the past only prolonged her pain. Through detachment practices like journaling and affirmations, Emily let go of the need for closure from her ex. This shift allowed her to heal and focus on self-growth. Practical tip. Practice the mantra, I release what I cannot control. Repeat it whenever you feel overwhelmed by external situations. Conclusion. By mastering these practices, you cultivate emotional resilience that shields your inner peace from life's inevitable challenges. Becoming untouchable is a journey of self-awareness and intentionality, empowering you to respond to life with clarity, composure, and strength. SHA 3. Transform insults into opportunities, turning negativity into growth. Buddhism teaches that insults and criticism often reflect more about the person delivering them than about the recipient. Viewing these moments as opportunities for patience, empathy, and understanding allows us to turn negativity into a catalyst for personal growth. By reframing how we perceive and respond to insults, we protect our inner peace and foster resilience. The nature of insults. Understanding their source. Insults are rarely about the person being targeted. Instead, they often stem from the emotional struggles, insecurities, or frustrations of the one delivering them. Recognizing this truth is the first step in transforming these moments into opportunities. Liam's journey in the office. Liam worked in a high-pressure law firm where colleagues were often blunt, if not outright harsh. His manager, known for her critical remarks, once chastised Liam publicly for a minor mistake. Initially, Liam felt humiliated and angry. However, he chose to reflect on her behavior rather than react. He noticed that her criticism often came when she was stressed about deadlines. This insight helped Liam depersonalize the insult and respond calmly. Over time, his professional demeanor earned the respect of both his manager and peers. Practical tip. When facing an insult, pause and remind yourself, this is about them, not me. This simple mantra creates a mental barrier against taking the insult personally. Reframing insults as growth opportunities. Insults can serve as mirrors, reflecting areas where we can grow emotionally or improve our behavior. They can also teach us to practice virtues like patience, compassion, and humility. Emma's transformation at work. Emma, a graphic designer, often received harsh feedback from a senior colleague, Jack. While her initial reaction was defensiveness, Emma decided to engage with the criticism constructively. She started asking Jack specific questions about how she could improve. Not only did this approach disarm Jack's negativity, but it also helped Emma refine her skills. Over time, Jack's respect for her grew, and their relationship transformed into a productive mentorship. Practical tip: when someone criticizes you, ask, what can I learn from this? Use the situation to identify opportunities for growth. Practicing patience in the face of negativity. Responding to insults with patience demonstrates strength and self-control. It diffuses conflict and prevents the negativity from escalating. Sophia's family dynamics. Sophia's brother James often made sarcastic remarks during family gatherings, targeting her lifestyle choices. Initially, Sophia felt hurt and angry, but instead of reacting, she began practicing patience. She calmly acknowledged his comments without engaging emotionally, which eventually reduced his need to provoke her. This practice not only preserved her peace, but also inspired James to reflect on his own behavior. Practical tip: when someone insults you, take a deep breath and count to 5 before responding. This pause allows you to choose a calm, measured reply. Responding with empathy, understanding the root cause. Empathy enables us to see beyond the insult and recognize the pain or insecurity driving it. This perspective fosters understanding and helps us avoid taking the insult personally. David's neighborly conflict. David had a neighbor, Peter, who frequently made rude remarks about David's gardening choices. Instead of confronting Peter angrily, David sought to understand the root cause. One day, during a conversation, Peter revealed that he missed the vibrant garden his late wife used to maintain. David empathized and started involving Peter in small gardening projects. This act of understanding not only resolved the conflict, but also brought them closer as friends. Practical tip: after an insult, ask yourself, what might this person be going through? Considering their struggles can shift your perspective and reduce emotional sting. Protecting your peace while setting boundaries. While understanding and patience are essential, it's also important to set healthy boundaries. Protecting your peace doesn't mean tolerating ongoing disrespect. Emily's professional assertiveness. Emily worked in customer service, where a particularly difficult client frequently hurled insults during calls. While Emily practiced patience, she also recognized the need to set boundaries. She informed her supervisor about the situation and requested that the client's concerns be escalated to another team. By addressing the issue assertively yet calmly, Emily safeguarded her well-being while ensuring professional handling of the client. Practical tip: when insults persist, calmly assert your boundaries by saying, "I value respectful communication. Let's continue this conversation constructively." Tote 4. Responding to negativity with compassion, finding peace through understanding. When confronted with negativity, our instinct often leans toward retaliation or defensiveness. However, Buddhism teaches that responding with compassion allows us to break the cycle of hostility and protect our inner peace. This approach fosters understanding and can even transform relationships, helping both parties grow. Understanding the root of negativity. Negative behavior often stems from unresolved struggles, insecurities, or pain within the other person. Recognizing this truth helps us see negativity as a reflection of their inner state rather than an attack on our worth. Liam's challenging boss. Liam worked under a manager who was notorious for her sharp criticism. Instead of viewing her negativity as a personal attack, Liam chose to empathize. Through conversations, he learned that she was under immense pressure to meet tight deadlines. Armed with this understanding, Liam responded to her harsh words with patience and support. Over time, their relationship improved, and his calm demeanor even influenced her to be less critical. Practical tip: when faced with negativity, ask yourself, what might this person be struggling with? This perspective can soften your response and encourage understanding. Choosing compassion over retaliation. Compassion doesn't mean accepting bad behavior, but responding in a way that de-escalates conflict and fosters connection. It is a choice to prioritize peace over being right. Sophia's argument with a friend. Sophia's friend, Mia, unexpectedly lashed out during a group dinner, accusing her of being self-centered. Instead of reacting angrily, Sophia took Mia aside to ask if something was wrong. Mia broke down, admitting she was overwhelmed by personal issues and had projected her frustrations onto Sophia. By responding with compassion, Sophia not only preserved their friendship, but also helped Mia feel supported. Practical tip: when someone lashes out, pause and say, "I can see you're upset. Would you like to talk about it?" This disarms the negativity and opens the door for understanding, transforming hostility into mutual respect. Responding to hostility with kindness can shift the dynamic and foster mutual respect, even in strained relationships. David's story of disarming hostility. David, a yoga instructor, moved into a new neighborhood and was met with hostility from his next-door neighbor, Peter, who frequently complained about noise during his classes. Instead of retaliating, David invited Peter to a free yoga session. Though reluctant, Peter attended and found the practice calming. This act of compassion dissolved Peter's hostility, and they eventually became friends who shared a mutual respect. Practical tip: extend a small act of kindness towards someone who has wronged you. A simple gesture, such as offering help or sharing a kind word, can transform relationships. Cultivating compassionate listening. Listening with an open heart is a cornerstone of compassion. It helps uncover the pain or fear driving the negativity and shows the other person that their feelings matter. Emma's workplace conflict. Emma's coworker, Rachel, frequently criticized her ideas in meetings. Frustrated, Emma decided to schedule a one-on-one conversation with Rachel to understand her perspective. During their discussion, Emma learned that Rachel felt overlooked and insecure about her contributions. By listening without judgment, Emma found ways to include Rachel more, which not only improved their working relationship, but also fostered mutual respect. Practical tip: when someone criticizes you, respond by asking, "Can you tell me more about your perspective?" This shows openness and can reveal underlying concerns. Practicing forgiveness, a key to compassion. Forgiveness is a natural extension of compassion. It allows us to release resentment and focus on understanding, even when the other person hasn't apologized. Lily's family healing. Lily had a strained relationship with her sister, who often blamed Lily for their childhood conflicts. Instead of holding on to resentment, Lily chose to forgive her sister internally, understanding that her sister's bitterness stemmed from unresolved family dynamics. This act of forgiveness gave Lily peace and the patience to approach their relationship with kindness, which eventually led to reconciliation. Practical tip: write down one kind thing about someone who has wronged you, as it helps you see them in a more balanced light and promotes forgiveness. Setting boundaries with compassion. While compassion is vital, it doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior. Setting boundaries ensures that kindness is extended without compromising self-respect. Oliver's assertive approach. Oliver worked with a colleague who often dismissed his ideas in meetings. Instead of retaliating or internalizing the negativity, Oliver calmly expressed how he felt, saying, "I value constructive feedback, but dismissive comments make it difficult for me to contribute." His compassionate yet firm approach encouraged a healthier dialogue and improved their collaboration. Practical tip: use I statements when setting boundaries, such as, "I feel emotion when situation. I would appreciate solution." Compassion as a tool for personal growth. Responding to negativity with compassion isn't just about improving relationships, it's also an opportunity for personal growth. It strengthens patience, empathy, and resilience. Sophia's reflection on growth. Sophia, a teacher, faced repeated complaints from a parent who was dissatisfied with her teaching methods. Instead of letting it demoralize her, Sophia viewed it as an opportunity to practice patience and hone her communication skills. She scheduled a meeting to address the parents' concerns, listening attentively and suggesting collaborative solutions. This experience not only resolved the conflict, but also made Sophia a more empathetic educator. Practical tip: after responding compassionately to a difficult situation, reflect on what you learned and how it helped you grow emotionally. By responding to negativity with compassion, you break the cycle of hostility and cultivate a space for understanding and growth. Compassion is not only a gift to others, but also a profound way to nurture your own peace and emotional resilience. 5. Guard your mind. Cultivating positive and empowering thoughts. Buddhism likens the mind to a garden where thoughts are seeds. The thoughts we nurture and focus on determine the quality of our mental landscape. Just as a gardener carefully tends to their plants, we must intentionally foster positive and empowering thoughts while weeding out negativity. By guarding your mind, you create a space for resilience, growth, and inner peace. The power of intentional focus. Your focus determines which thoughts thrive and which wither away. Nurturing positive thoughts strengthens your mental resilience, while dwelling on negativity allows it to grow unchecked. Mia's shift in mindset. Mia, a recent college graduate, often found herself ruminating on job rejections and comparing her progress to her peers. This habit left her feeling defeated and unmotivated. Determined to change, Mia started celebrating small wins, like refining her resume or acing an interview practice session. Over time, her focus on progress rather than setbacks transformed her mindset. Eventually, she landed a job and carried this positive outlook into her work. Practical tip: each night, write down 3 things that went well and why. This practice trains your mind to focus on positive experiences, recognizing and challenging negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are like weeds in the mind's garden. Recognizing them early and challenging their validity prevents them from taking root. Sophia's public speaking anxiety. Sophia, a marketing professional, dreaded giving presentations. Before every meeting, her mind filled with thoughts like, "I'm terrible at public speaking," or "everyone will judge me." To counter this, she started questioning the validity of these thoughts. What evidence do I have that I'm terrible? Have I succeeded before? By focusing on her preparation and past successes, Sophia began replacing her fears with confidence, eventually becoming a sought-after speaker. Practical tip: when a negative thought arises, pause and ask, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? Replace it with a constructive perspective, planting seeds of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful seeds you can plant in your mental garden. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, fostering contentment and joy. David's morning ritual. David, a busy entrepreneur, often started his day feeling overwhelmed by the challenges ahead. To counter this, he began a morning gratitude ritual, listing 3 things he appreciated before diving into his tasks. This simple habit reframed his perspective, helping him approach challenges with a sense of abundance and positivity. Practical tip: begin each morning by listing 3 things you're grateful for. This primes your mind for positivity throughout the day. Protecting your mind from negative influences. External influences, such as negative people or media, can have a profound impact on your thoughts. Being selective about what you allow into your mental space helps maintain its clarity and positivity. Emma's social media detox. Emma, a college student, found herself feeling anxious and inadequate after spending hours on social media. Realizing its effect on her mindset, she decided to take a month-long break from social platforms. During this time, she replaced scrolling with reading motivational books and engaging in hobbies. The change improved her mental clarity and boosted her self-esteem. Practical tip: limit exposure to negative media or conversations. Instead, surround yourself with uplifting content and supportive people. Nurturing positive habits for mental strength. Creating consistent habits that reinforce positivity ensures the continued health of your mental garden. Liam's evening reflection. Liam, a software engineer, struggled with work stress that often lingered into his evenings. To combat this, he started an evening reflection practice. Each night, he wrote down 1 positive outcome from his day, no matter how small. This habit helped him end each day on a constructive note and improved his overall outlook. Practical tip: create a positivity jar. Write down 1 positive moment or achievement each day and place it in the jar. Reflect on these notes whenever you feel discouraged, letting go of what doesn't serve you. Holding on to past failures, grudges, or fears only clutters the mind. Letting go of these mental burdens creates space for growth and positivity. Sophia's forgiveness journey. Sophia held on to resentment after a friend betrayed her trust. This lingering negativity affected her relationships and peace of mind. Inspired by a mindfulness retreat, she decided to let go of the grudge by writing a letter of forgiveness, though she didn't send it. This act of release allowed her to focus on the supportive relationships in her life and find peace. Practical tip: write down what you need to let go of and why it no longer serves you. Visualize releasing it from your mind. Practicing mindfulness to stay present. Mindfulness helps you stay aware of your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing you to consciously choose which seeds to nurture. Anna's morning walks. Anna, a busy nurse, began taking short morning walks to practice mindfulness. During these walks, she focused on her surroundings, the sound of birds, the feel of the breeze, and her breath. This practice grounded her in the present moment, reducing stress and helping her approach each day with calm clarity. Practical tip: dedicate 5 to 10 minutes each day to mindfulness meditation or a mindful activity like walking or journaling. Transforming challenges into growth opportunities. Life's challenges can be fertile ground for growth when approached with a positive mindset. Viewing obstacles as lessons cultivates resilience and empowerment. Emily's career pivot. After losing her job during a company downsizing, Emily felt defeated. However, instead of dwelling on the loss, she saw it as an opportunity to pursue her passion for photography. Through online courses and practice, she turned her hobby into a successful freelance career. Emily's ability to reframe adversity transformed her life. Practical tip: when faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Reflect on how overcoming it might help you grow. Conclusion: guarding your mind is a continuous practice of nurturing positive thoughts, releasing negativity, and staying present. Like a well-tended garden, a mindful and intentional approach creates a thriving mental space where resilience, joy, and peace flourish. Das 6. Overcoming fear and shame, embracing courage and self-compassion. Fear and shame often act as barriers to growth, holding us back from pursuing our dreams, building meaningful connections, or embracing our true selves. These emotions thrive in the shadows of self-doubt and judgment. But by bringing them into the light of self-awareness and self-compassion, we can transform them into opportunities for courage and resilience. The nature of fear and shame. Fear is often a response to the unknown or perceived threats, while shame arises from a belief that we are flawed or unworthy. Both emotions are powerful but do not define us. Understanding their origins allows us to challenge their hold over our lives. Sophia's career transition. Sophia always dreamed of starting her own bakery, but hesitated for years out of fear of failure and shame over what her friends might think if she didn't succeed. One day, she reflected on her passion and realized that letting fear dictate her actions would lead to greater regret. Sophia took small steps, starting with baking classes and selling goods at local markets. Over time, she gained confidence and opened her bakery, which became a beloved community spot. Practical tip: break overwhelming fears into smaller, actionable steps. Celebrate each milestone to build momentum and confidence. Facing fear head on. Facing fear directly is the first step to overcoming it. Avoiding fear only strengthens its grip, while confronting it diminishes its power. Liam's public speaking transformation. Liam, a software developer, dreaded public speaking, fearing judgment and mistakes. His breakthrough came when he shifted his focus from himself to his audience. He began preparing presentations with the intention of helping others understand complex topics. This reframing allowed him to overcome his fear, and he became a confident and engaging speaker. Practical tip: before facing a fear-inducing situation, ask yourself, how can this experience help me grow or benefit others? Shifting focus away from yourself reduces anxiety. Breaking free from shame. Shame thrives on secrecy and self-criticism. By practicing self-compassion and sharing your struggles with trusted individuals, you can release its grip. Emily's journey to self-acceptance. Emily struggled with body image issues, often feeling ashamed of her appearance. After joining a support group, she realized she wasn't alone in her feelings. The group encouraged her to practice self-affirmations and focus on what her body allowed her to do rather than how it looked. Over time, Emily embraced her worth beyond physical appearance, finding confidence in her abilities and kindness. Practical tip: write down one thing you appreciate about yourself each day. Focus on qualities unrelated to appearance or achievements to nurture unconditional self-worth. Reframing failure as growth. Fear of failure often stems from a belief that mistakes define us. Reframing failure as an opportunity to learn and grow reduces its power over us. David's business setback. David's first business venture failed, leaving him feeling ashamed and hesitant to try again. However, he reframed the experience as a valuable lesson. He identified what went wrong, sought advice from mentors, and launched a new venture with a better strategy. This time, his business thrived, and he often credited his earlier failure as the foundation of his success. Practical tip: after a perceived failure, List 3 things you learned from the experience. Use these lessons to guide your next steps. Cultivating self-compassion. Self-compassion is the antidote to fear and shame. Treating yourself with kindness as you would a friend fosters resilience and courage. Anna's parenting struggles. Anna often felt ashamed when her toddler had public tantrums, believing it reflected her inadequacy as a parent. One day, she read about self-compassion and began practicing it during challenging moments. Instead of berating herself, Anna reminded herself that parenting was a learning process. This shift not only eased her shame, but also helped her approach her child's behavior with patience and understanding. Practical tip. Practice the affirmation, "I am enough as I am," during moments of self-doubt. Pair it with a deep breath to center yourself. Building courage through action. Taking action, even in small steps, builds the courage needed to face fear and shame. Action creates evidence that we are capable, gradually dismantling limiting beliefs. Sophia's dance class courage. Sophia loved dancing but avoided group classes due to fear of judgment. Encouraged by a friend, she joined a beginner's class. Despite initial discomfort, she focused on her love for dance rather than her insecurities. Over time, Sophia not only improved her skills, but also formed meaningful friendships. Practical tip. Identify one small action you can take towards something you fear. Commit to it and reflect on the courage it took afterward. Sharing your story. Sharing your experiences of fear and shame with trusted individuals fosters connection and normalizes vulnerability. It also helps others realize they are not alone. Oliver's leadership evolution. Oliver, a team leader, feared admitting mistakes to his staff, believing it would undermine his authority. After attending a leadership seminar, he decided to share a personal story of failure during a team meeting. To his surprise, his honesty inspired his team to be more open and collaborative, improving their dynamic and performance. Practical tip. Share a personal struggle with a supportive friend or group. Reflect on the strength it takes to be vulnerable. Letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism often amplifies fear and shame by setting unattainable standards. Embracing imperfection allows us to take risks and celebrate progress. Emily's art journey. Emily avoided painting for years because she feared her work wouldn't be good enough. One day, she joined a local art class where the instructor emphasized process over perfection. Emily began painting freely, focusing on the joy of creation rather than the outcome. This shift not only reignited her passion, but also helped her let go of self-judgment. Practical tip. Try an activity without aiming for perfection. Focus on the experience rather than the result. By facing fear and shame directly, reframing them as opportunities for growth, and practicing self-compassion, you can break free from their constraints. Each step forward, no matter how small, builds courage and fosters self-acceptance. Fear and shame may be barriers, but they are not insurmountable. With intentional effort, they become stepping stones toward a life of resilience, confidence, and fulfillment. Stop 7. Transform everyone into teachers, embracing growth through interactions. Every person we encounter, whether they inspire us or challenge us, has something to teach. Recognizing this can shift our perspective on relationships, turning conflicts and difficulties into opportunities for growth. This mindset transforms every interaction into a valuable learning experience, helping us develop patience, resilience, and self-awareness. Seeing challenges as lessons. Difficult people often challenge us in ways that force us to grow. Instead of viewing these interactions as obstacles, we can see them as opportunities to cultivate important virtues. Anna's transformation through a challenging boss. Anna worked under a boss who was notoriously demanding and critical. At first, she dreaded their interactions and doubted her abilities. Over time, she realized that her boss was inadvertently teaching her patience and resilience. These skills proved invaluable when Anna started her own business, helping her navigate challenges with composure and determination. Practical tip. After a tough interaction, ask yourself, what qualities is this situation encouraging me to develop? Learning through conflict. Conflicts often hold a mirror to our emotions and reactions, offering insights into our triggers and areas for improvement. Liam's workplace conflict. Liam, a project manager, clashed with a team member who frequently dismissed his ideas. Initially, Liam felt disrespected and frustrated. After reflecting on the conflict, he recognized that it was an opportunity to practice assertiveness and clear communication. By addressing the issue calmly and collaboratively, Liam not only resolved the conflict, but also strengthened his leadership skills. Practical tip: during conflicts, shift your focus from blame to growth. Ask, what is this teaching me about myself or my communication style? Finding inspiration in others. Inspiring individuals show us what's possible, motivating us to aspire higher in our own lives. Sophia's mentor at work. Sophia admired a colleague who managed stressful situations with grace and optimism. Observing her mentor's approach, Sophia started adopting similar habits, like staying calm under pressure and focusing on solutions. These changes improved her performance and helped her become a role model for others in her team. Practical tip: identify one quality you admire in someone and think about how you can cultivate it in yourself, turning criticism into constructive feedback. Even harsh criticism can teach us something valuable if we approach it with an open mind. Emily's creative journey. Emily, an aspiring writer, once received harsh feedback on her manuscript. Initially hurt, she revisited the critique after a few days and realized it highlighted areas where her story could improve. By embracing the feedback as a learning tool, Emily refined her writing and eventually got published. Practical tip: when receiving criticism, pause before reacting. Ask, what truth can I extract from this? Lessons in compassion and empathy. Difficult interactions often teach us the value of compassion and empathy, helping us understand others' perspectives. David's neighborly dispute. David's neighbor frequently complained about noise from his weekend gatherings. Instead of reacting defensively, David took time to understand his neighbor's concerns. He learned that his neighbor, an elderly man, struggled with health issues that made him sensitive to disruptions. David adjusted his gatherings and developed a respectful relationship with his neighbor, learning the importance of empathy in resolving conflicts. Practical tip: in challenging interactions, consider the other person's perspective. Ask yourself, what might they be going through? By seeing everyone as a teacher, you cultivate a mindset of curiosity and openness. Whether through inspiration, conflict, or criticism, every interaction holds lessons that help you grow in resilience, empathy, and self-awareness. Embracing this perspective transforms relationships into rich opportunities for learning and personal development. Learning self-awareness through reactions. Our reactions to others often reveal more about ourselves than the situation. Paying attention to these emotions can teach us about our triggers and areas for personal development. Sophia's parenting challenge. Sophia's teenage son often challenged her authority with sarcastic remarks. Initially, she reacted with frustration, but after reflecting, she realized her anger stemmed from her own insecurities about being a good parent. By addressing her insecurities and practicing calm responses, Sophia improved their relationship and grew more confident in her parenting abilities. Practical tip: after a strong emotional reaction, ask, why did I feel this way? What does it reveal about me? Discovering strength through adversity. Adversity often comes in the form of difficult people or situations, pushing us to discover strengths we didn't know we had. Liam's volunteer experience. While volunteering at a community shelter, Liam worked with a demanding supervisor who insisted on strict procedures. At first, Liam found it overwhelming, but he soon realized the supervisor's meticulous approach was teaching him the value of discipline and attention to detail. These lessons proved crucial in Liam's later career as a nonprofit manager. Practical tip: when facing adversity, write down one positive takeaway or strength you developed from the experience. Finding gratitude in challenges. Recognizing the lessons difficult people bring into our lives fosters gratitude, even for unpleasant experiences. Emily's gratitude practice. Emily struggled with a colleague who was highly competitive and often undermined her efforts. Over time, she realized this colleague was pushing her to improve her own skills and boundaries. Emily began practicing gratitude for the challenges, which shifted her mindset and helped her grow professionally. Practical tip: after a challenging interaction, write down one thing you're grateful for about the experience or person. The ripple effect of growth. Viewing everyone as a teacher not only benefits your personal growth, but also sets an example for others. Your calmness and ability to learn from interactions can inspire those around you. Anna's leadership evolution. As Anna grew her business, she applied the lessons she learned from her challenging boss to mentor her own employees. Her patience and resilience created a supportive workplace culture where challenges were viewed as opportunities for collective growth. Practical tip. Share the lessons you've learned with others. Teaching what you've gained solidifies your understanding and inspires those around you. By embracing the idea that everyone we meet has something to teach us, we transform challenges into opportunities for self-improvement and meaningful connections. This mindset fosters a continuous cycle of growth, enriching both our lives and the lives of those around us. 8. Forge an unshakable ethical code, building a foundation of integrity. In a world filled with challenges and temptations, a strong ethical code serves as an unwavering compass. Rooting yourself in principles like kindness, honesty, and respect creates a stable foundation, helping you navigate life's complexities while staying true to your values. A robust ethical code not only fosters inner peace, but also cultivates trust and respect in your relationships. The power of ethical principles. Ethical principles act as anchors during turbulent times, guiding decisions and ensuring actions align with your values. When you live with integrity, you cultivate a life of purpose and authenticity. John's business journey. John, a businessman, faced a pivotal moment when offered a lucrative deal that required bypassing environmental regulations. While the deal promised immediate financial gains, it clashed with John's commitment to sustainability and transparency. He chose integrity over shortcuts, turning down the offer and focusing on ethical growth. Over time, his reputation for honesty attracted clients who shared his values, leading to long-term success. Practical tip: reflect weekly on whether your actions align with your core values. This practice reinforces your commitment to living authentically, strengthening your ethical foundation. A strong ethical foundation requires regular introspection and intentional effort. Defining your core values is the first step toward living a principled life. Sophia's personal reflection. Sophia, a teacher, realized she was compromising her values by rushing through lessons to meet administrative demands. Feeling disconnected, she spent a weekend reflecting on her purpose as an educator. She reaffirmed her commitment to student-centered learning and adjusted her approach to prioritize meaningful engagement over speed. This alignment with her values rekindled her passion for teaching. Practical tip: create a list of your core values. Revisit it regularly to ensure your actions reflect those principles. Navigating challenges with integrity. Life often tests our commitment to ethics through difficult situations. Standing firm in your values during these moments strengthens your character and builds resilience. Liam's leadership dilemma. Liam, a project manager, discovered a mistake in his team's report shortly before presenting it to a client. While tempted to gloss over the error, Liam chose to address it honestly during the meeting. His transparency impressed the client, who valued Liam's integrity and continued working with his company. Practical tip: when faced with an ethical dilemma, pause and ask yourself, will this decision align with my values in the long term? By forging an unshakable ethical code, you establish a foundation of trust and authenticity that guides you through life's complexities. Upholding your principles not only strengthens your inner character, but also inspires respect and trust in those around you, fostering meaningful relationships and enduring success. The ripple effect of kindness. Kindness, a cornerstone of any ethical code, not only enriches your life, but also inspires others. Small acts of kindness often have far-reaching impacts. Emily's daily practice. Emily, a nurse, made it a habit to compliment her co-workers and offer encouragement during stressful shifts. Her consistent kindness uplifted the entire team, creating a supportive and collaborative environment. Over time, her actions influence others to adopt similar behaviors, enhancing the workplace culture. Practical tip: commit to one act of kindness each day, whether it's offering a compliment, helping someone in need, or simply listening attentively. Honesty as a pillar of trust. Honesty builds trust and credibility, fostering deeper connections and meaningful relationships. David's career breakthrough. David, a financial advisor, was approached by a client looking for high-risk investments with unrealistic returns. Instead of promising results he couldn't deliver, David explained the risks honestly and recommended a more sustainable strategy. Though the client initially hesitated, they later returned, impressed by David's honesty, and referred others to him. Practical tip: practice honesty in small daily interactions, such as admitting when you don't know something or owning up to mistakes. Respect as a guiding principle. Respect ensures that your interactions uphold the dignity of others, even in challenging circumstances. Anna's workplace conflict. Anna managed a team where two co-workers often clashed over differing work styles. Instead of choosing sides, Anna mediated the conflict by encouraging mutual respect. She emphasized the importance of valuing diverse perspectives and helped the team find common ground. This approach not only resolved the conflict, but also strengthened the team's cohesion. Practical tip: in moments of disagreement, remind yourself that respect doesn't require agreement, it requires understanding. Balancing personal and professional ethics. Living ethically involves maintaining consistency between personal and professional values. Aligning both areas of your life strengthens your integrity. Sophia's work-life balance. Sophia, a marketing executive, struggled to balance her family commitments with demanding work hours. She realized her value of prioritizing family wasn't reflected in her daily actions. Sophia adjusted her schedule, setting firm boundaries at work. This decision allowed her to honor both her personal and professional responsibilities, fostering balance and fulfillment. Practical tip: review how your actions at work and home align with your values. Make adjustments where needed to maintain consistency. Transforming ethical living into a legacy. An unshakable ethical code not only shapes your life, but also leaves a lasting impact on others. Emily's mentorship role. Emily, a retired teacher, volunteered as a mentor for young educators. She often shared stories of times when she chose ethics over convenience, inspiring her mentees to prioritize integrity. Emily's influence created a ripple effect, encouraging a new generation of teachers to lead with principles. Practical tip: share your ethical principles and experiences with others, inspiring them to adopt values-driven living. Regular self-reflection for ethical growth. Self-reflection is key to maintaining and strengthening your ethical code. By evaluating your actions regularly, you can identify areas for improvement and reinforce your commitment to living authentically. John's weekly reflection habit. John, the businessman, set aside time each Sunday evening to reflect on his week. He asked himself, did my actions align with my values? Where can I improve? This habit helped John stay grounded and intentional, even during challenging times. Practical tip: dedicate time weekly for self-reflection. Use questions like, what did I do well? What could I do better? By forging an unshakable ethical code, you create a life guided by principles rather than circumstances. Kindness, honesty, and respect become the foundation of your interactions, helping you navigate life's storms with grace and integrity. This commitment to living authentically enriches your relationships, strengthens your resilience, and leaves a lasting legacy of values. 9. Live according to nature, embracing impermanence and adapting with grace. Living according to nature means aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life, recognizing that change is constant and embracing impermanence. By accepting the transient nature of all things, we foster balance and peace within ourselves. Adapting gracefully to life's inevitable shifts allows us to navigate challenges with ease and find contentment in every stage of our journey. The wisdom of nature's rhythms. Nature operates in cycles. The seasons change, the tides ebb and flow, and day turns into night. These rhythms teach us about the impermanent and ever-changing nature of existence. By observing and aligning with these patterns, we learn to accept that change is a natural part of life. Sophia's journey through life's seasons. Sophia, a dedicated professional, spent years climbing the corporate ladder. In her 30s, she found success but felt a lingering sense of dissatisfaction. Realizing she had neglected other aspects of her life, Sophia decided to embrace the changing seasons of her existence. She took a sabbatical to travel and reconnect with herself. During this time, Sophia immersed herself in different cultures and natural environments. Witnessing the serene flow of rivers and the resilience of forests regrowing after fires, she learned to accept life's impermanence. Upon returning, Sophia shifted her career focus, choosing work that allowed for personal growth and community involvement. She found contentment by aligning her life with natural rhythms, accepting each phase with gratitude and openness. Practical tip: spend time in nature to reconnect with its rhythms. Observe the cycles of the environment around you and reflect on how these patterns mirror the changes in your own life. Accepting impermanence. Impermanence is a fundamental truth. Everything is subject to change. Accepting this concept reduces suffering caused by clinging to the past or fearing the future. David's embrace of change. David, a father of two, faced unexpected job loss due to company downsizing. Initially devastated, he struggled with uncertainty about the future. Remembering his hikes in the mountains, where he witnessed landscapes constantly reshaped by elements, David began to see his situation differently. He acknowledged that just as nature adapts, so could he. David used this transition as an opportunity to pursue his passion for woodworking. By accepting the impermanence of his former job, he opened himself up to new possibilities, eventually starting a successful small business. Practical tip: practice mindfulness meditation focused on impermanence. Reflect on thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they arise and pass, reinforcing the understanding that all experiences are transient. Adapting with grace. Adaptability is the ability to adjust our thoughts and behaviors in response to changing circumstances. Adapting with grace involves accepting changes without resistance, allowing us to flow with life's currents. Emily's resilient spirit. Emily, an avid gardener, cherished her meticulously planned garden. One year, a severe storm destroyed much of her work. Instead of giving in to frustration, Emily saw this as an opportunity to redesign her garden. She researched plants better suited to her region's changing climate and incorporated elements that enhanced resilience against future storms. Emily's willingness to adapt not only restored her garden, but also deepened her appreciation for nature's unpredictability. Practical tip: when faced with unexpected changes, take a moment to breathe and assess the situation. Ask yourself, how can I adapt to this new reality? Embrace flexibility in your plans, finding contentment in every stage. Contentment arises when we appreciate the present moment, regardless of circumstances. By embracing each stage of life, we find joy and meaning in the journey. Liam's life transitions. Liam retired after decades in a fulfilling career. Initially, he felt a loss of purpose. Inspired by the migratory patterns of birds he observed during walks, Liam realized that life is a series of transitions. He began volunteering at a local community center, sharing his expertise and mentoring young professionals. Liam found contentment by engaging with his community, embracing this new stage of life as an opportunity for growth and contribution. Practical tip: keep a gratitude journal, noting daily what you appreciate about your current life stage. This practice fosters acceptance and joy in the present moment. Aligning with the natural flow. Aligning with nature involves listening to our internal rhythms and the world around us. It means trusting the process of life and understanding that each phase has its purpose. Sophia's mindful living. Returning from her travels, Sophia integrated mindfulness into her daily routine. She practiced yoga at sunrise, ate seasonal foods, and prioritized rest when her body signaled the need. By honoring her natural rhythms, Sophia experienced increased energy and clarity. She also became attuned to the needs of those around her, fostering deeper relationships. Sophia's alignment with nature enhanced her overall well-being and sense of connectedness. Practical tip: develop daily routines that honor your natural rhythms, such as regular sleep patterns, mindful eating, and periods of activity and rest. Letting go of resistance. Resistance to change often leads to stress and dissatisfaction. Letting go allows us to move forward and embrace new experiences. David's acceptance of loss. After his children's departure for college, David felt an empty nest syndrome. Clinging to the past brought him sadness. Recognizing his resistance, he chose to let go. David transformed his children's rooms into creative spaces, a painting studio and a library. By releasing his hold on the past, He found new joy in personal pursuits and maintained a loving relationship with his children as they began their adult lives. Practical tip: practice letting go by decluttering your space. Release items that no longer serve you, symbolizing the acceptance of change and making room for new experiences. By finding contentment in every stage, aligning with the natural flow, and letting go of resistance, we cultivate peace and resilience. These practices help us embrace life's transitions with grace and gratitude, enriching our journey at every step. Cultivating patience through nature. Nature teaches patience. Seeds take time to grow, and seasons change at their own pace. Embracing this teaches us to be patient with ourselves and our journeys. Emily's lesson from the garden. Impatient to see results, Emily initially overwatered her plants, hindering their growth. Realizing her mistake, she adjusted her approach, nurturing them according to their natural needs. This experience taught Emily patience and the understanding that growth cannot be rushed. She applied this lesson to personal goals, allowing herself time to develop skills without undue pressure. Practical tip: engage in activities that require patience, like gardening or crafting. These practices reinforce the value of steady, gradual progress. Embracing simplicity. Nature thrives in simplicity. By simplifying our lives, we reduce stress and create space for what truly matters. Liam's simplified lifestyle. Overwhelmed by material possessions and a hectic schedule, Liam decided to simplify. He decluttered his home, prioritized meaningful activities, and reduced digital distractions. This shift allowed Liam to focus on relationships and personal growth. He found greater fulfillment in experiences rather than possessions, aligning his life more closely with natural simplicity. Practical tip: simplify one area of your life, your wardrobe, schedule, or digital consumption. Notice how this affects your sense of peace and connection. Building resilience through natural alignment. Nature demonstrates resilience. Forests regrow after fires, and rivers carve new paths. Aligning with this resilience empowers us to overcome personal challenges. Sophia's resilient mindset. Facing setbacks in her new career path, Sophia recalled the resilience of nature she observed during her travels. She adopted a mindset that challenges were opportunities for growth. By viewing obstacles as natural parts of her journey, Sophia persisted with determination. This resilience led to innovative solutions and eventual success in her endeavors. Practical tip: when encountering difficulties, reflect on examples of resilience in nature. Let these inspire your approach to overcoming challenges. 10. Weaponize gratitude, transforming challenges into opportunities. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for resilience and transformation. It shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, allowing us to find strength and meaning even in adversity. By actively practicing gratitude, we can reframe challenges as opportunities for growth, fostering a mindset that is both resilient and fulfilled. The transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude changes the way we perceive our circumstances. Instead of focusing on what's missing, it highlights what's present, cultivating a sense of abundance and appreciation. Ethan's healing through gratitude. Ethan went through a painful breakup that left him feeling lost and unworthy. To regain his footing, he began keeping a gratitude journal. Each night, he listed 3 things he was thankful for: supportive friends, lessons from the relationship, and simple joys like a good book or a beautiful sunset. Over time, this practice shifted Ethan's perspective. He realized that while the relationship ended, it enriched his life with memories and lessons. Gratitude helped Ethan emerge stronger and more self-aware. Practical tip: each night, list 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. This practice helps reframe your mindset and builds emotional resilience, turning challenges into gratitude. Challenges often come with hidden lessons. Gratitude allows us to uncover and appreciate these lessons, turning hardships into stepping stones for growth. Sophia's career setback. Sophia, an ambitious architect, was passed over for a promotion she felt she deserved. Initially disheartened, Sophia decided to reflect on what she could learn from the situation. She realized the setback pushed her to strengthen her leadership skills and build better relationships with colleagues. By practicing gratitude for this opportunity to grow, Sophia stayed motivated and eventually earned a higher position. Practical tip: When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can it help me grow? Use these reflections to fuel your gratitude, finding gratitude in small moments. Gratitude doesn't have to stem from grand events. Often the smallest joys hold the most profound impact. Emily's daily walks. Emily, a school teacher, felt overwhelmed by her workload. To combat stress, she started taking short walks during her breaks, focusing on small details, birds chirping, the rustle of leaves, the warmth of the sun. These moments of mindfulness allowed her to appreciate life's simple pleasures, reducing her stress and re-energizing her for the day. Practical tip: take a few minutes daily to notice and appreciate small joys around you. These micro moments of gratitude can have a profound impact on your well-being. Gratitude as a tool for resilience. Gratitude builds resilience by focusing on what's working in our lives rather than what's going wrong. This perspective fosters a sense of control and positivity. Liam's financial struggles. Liam faced a period of financial instability after losing his job. Instead of succumbing to despair, he started practicing gratitude for the support he received from friends, his resourcefulness, and even the extra time to spend with his family. This mindset helped him stay focused and proactive, eventually leading him to start a successful freelance career. Practical tip: in difficult times, write down one positive aspect of your situation. Reflect on how it can serve as a foundation for your recovery or growth. The ripple effect of gratitude. Expressing gratitude not only benefits the individual, but also strengthens relationships and fosters positive interactions. David's family dynamics. David noticed that his family dinners often became a space for complaints about the day. Wanting to shift the energy, he introduced a gratitude circle, where each family member shared one thing they were thankful for. This simple practice transformed their evenings, fostering a sense of connection and positivity within the family. Practical tip: incorporate a gratitude sharing practice with loved ones during meals or gatherings. This habit nurtures stronger bonds and shared positivity. Gratitude as a way to reframe loss. Loss often brings pain, but gratitude can help us find meaning and healing by focusing on what remains and what we've gained. Sophia's goodbye to a loved one. After her grandmother passed away, Sophia felt a deep void. To cope, she started journaling about the memories and values her grandmother had passed down. Reflecting on these gifts helped Sophia appreciate the love and wisdom she received, softening her grief with gratitude. Practical tip: when dealing with loss, write about the positive memories or lessons the experience has left you with. This perspective fosters healing through appreciation. Cultivating gratitude as a daily practice. Gratitude grows stronger with consistent practice. By making it a daily habit, it becomes a natural part of your perspective, shaping how you engage with the world. Anna's morning gratitude ritual. Anna began her days feeling overwhelmed by her busy schedule. To combat this, she started a morning ritual of writing down 3 things she was grateful for before checking her phone or emails. This practice set a positive tone for her day, helping her tackle tasks with optimism and calmness. Practical tip: start your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. Begin with simple aspects like good health, a comfortable home, or opportunities ahead. Gratitude and personal growth. Gratitude fosters self-awareness and humility, helping us recognize the support and opportunities that contribute to our growth. Liam's mentorship gratitude. Liam, a successful entrepreneur, reflected on his journey and realized the impact of his mentors. He reached out to thank them, acknowledging their guidance. This act of gratitude deepened their connections and reminded Liam of the importance of supporting others in turn. Practical tip: reflect on the people who have helped you grow. Reach out to express your gratitude and strengthen those relationships. Using gratitude to create a mindset of abundance. A mindset of scarcity focuses on what we lack, while gratitude shifts attention to what we have. This abundance mindset fosters optimism and creativity. Emily's abundance shift. Emily, a writer, often compared herself to more successful authors, feeling inadequate. To change this, she began listing the resources, skills, and opportunities available to her. Over time, this shift from scarcity to abundance inspired her to write more confidently, ultimately achieving her own version of success. Practical tip: when feeling inadequate, write down the resources and opportunities you already have. Focus on how you can use them to move forward. By weaponizing gratitude, you turn life's challenges into opportunities for growth and resilience. This practice cultivates a mindset of abundance, strengthens relationships, and transforms adversity into empowerment. When practiced consistently, gratitude becomes a tool for navigating life's ups and downs with grace and optimism, enriching your journey and inspiring those around you.